all these allegations and claims he's not going to actually follow through on all his previous communist statements. So let's look at what he says he wants to do as mayor. He wants to start opening government grocery stores.
City-run grocery stores, I proposed a pilot program of one store in each borough. These are 5 stores in total. The total cost of this is $60 million. This is less than half the cost of what the city is already set to spend on a subsidy program for corporate supermarkets that has no guarantee of cheaper prices or collective bargaining agreements or even accepting
So
SNAP
you're not
WIC.
looking at some like Soviet Union grocery stores on every corner that are going to be run by the government?
No, what I'm looking at is how to solve the very clear twin crises of affordability when you go to the grocery store and food deserts, which disproportionately impact Black and brown New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs.
This is communism, and it's a horrible idea. Do you remember the last time you went to the Department of Motor Vehicles? Did you enjoy the experience? Did you have to wait in line for a long time? Now imagine that you had to get your groceries from the same people who operate the Department of Motor Vehicles. It's going to be a disaster. In fact, we have had other cities who have already tried this and failed miserably.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce. A lot of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where's all the food? A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Around here, a good thing don't last too long.
This is what it looks like when the government runs your grocery store. Here's a photo from a food line outside a grocery store in Soviet Russia. What would happen is the grocery store would receive a limited number of items, and you would have to stand in line to receive your portion of bread. Why are the people of New York voting for this? The government does not know how to run a grocery store. Mamdani doesn't know anything about grocery stores. In fact, Mamdani has not run any sort of large organization in his life. People who actually run grocery stores in New York are furious. Here's one bodega owner.
Put one grocery store in each borough, put bodegas out of business.
Cancer starts with a small cell in your body. And if you don't extract it, it spreads. You start with one idea like this, a foolish idea, it may spread. And we don't want it to get to that. If he decides that one store worked, maybe 2 stores would work, maybe 100 stores will work. And if you let him spread his ignorance, because this is being ignorant, really, then we have a huge problem.
Why is it ignorant?
It's ignorant because most bodega owners are immigrants. They come from very poor countries, and they come here to try to make a living and do the right thing by the city. A bodega is not just where you sell food. They're also community centers. So if you're able to infiltrate government into the private sector, you're basically ruining the dreams and the spirits of all these small business people who have risked everything they have, borrowed everything they could borrow to open their small business. It doesn't make sense because not only will it hurt the people he claims he's trying to help, he's going to drive a lot of these businesses out of business, or he's going to scare people. It's like people are scared of ICE. It's like people are scared of people like Mamdani that will come in and start opening up businesses and giving food away and competing with those that have invested their money into their small business.
Once the government comes in with the grocery store, that is competition. The government is taking away customers from all the private businesses. Mamdani said in his interview that he's going to spend $60 million. How many of these small business owners are going to be able to compete against $60 million? That means that private businesses are going to go bankrupt, which means the government will need to expand to even more grocery stores. And that is the real goal. If you want food to eat, you're going to have to go through the government. And if you speak up against Mamdani, guess what? No food for you. Why are the people of New York voting for this? I could not figure it out until I saw this video.
No, I think it's cool that he's raising taxes because he wants to give us free like healthcare and shit. You know, he supports.
It's not free if he's raising your taxes.
Yeah, it's not free. Yeah, but I think that's cool. I do dumb shit. I mean, the problem people get mad. People get mad about the raising taxes for free healthcare because they're like, well, I'm not getting healthcare. Like I don't need. But like I feel like I do dumb shit and I'm gonna need the free healthcare. So I think it would be.
But if you're paying less in taxes, you can choose what healthcare you want and get better private healthcare.
Yeah, but I don't know where I'm gonna end up on like Friday night, so I kind of just gotta.
I get it.
It's more like a lottery for me.
No.
This guy sounds like an idiot. He is voting for what he thinks is free stuff, but not really thinking about the consequences. If there's anyone watching this from New York, please comment down below. Are people there really this dumb? If we look at the statistics, the reason that Mamdani is ahead in the polls is because he has massive support from college-educated voters. He is getting 57% of college-educated voters. My question is, what are they teaching in college these days? How do these students not know about communism? If there's any lesson that we can easily learn from history, it is how horrible and destructive communism has been. Enormous amounts of people have died in the most excruciating, painful deaths because of communism. Whether we're talking about Russia, China, North Korea, Cuba, we see the same thing every time. So in case you're one of these college students, I will show you what I'm talking about. This is a man explaining what life in communist Cuba is like today.
I want to talk about what the government considers helping its citizens. Cuban citizens, because of the nature of the government being a socialist/communist government, receive a monthly quota, which is what the government expects you to survive with in addition to your salary. Let me show you every item that the Cuban citizens received for the past 3 months in an attempt to make you realize how cruel a dictatorship really is. Once I show you and you're done picking up your job from the floor, I will explain how much a salary person makes. Don't worry, it doesn't matter what profession they're on because in Cuba, communist/socialist country, everyone makes the same. Then I will compare it to the cost of living in Cuba. In the month of June, 1 bag of lentils per person was given. This was supposed to last them a whole month. In the month of July, they gave about 2 pounds of rice per person, in addition to, you guessed it, another bag of lentils per person, followed by the month of August, where we had another bag of lentils per person. In addition to that, they gave about 14 jars of baby food. For the month of September was a plentiful one. They gave every Cuban half a kilogram of sugar, 1 pound of shredded beef for kids 1 to 13 years old, and about 2 pounds of steaks for pregnant women only. This is because they were behind for the previous 3 months, so you had to divide that in the 3 months that they were missing. All of this right here is about 4 months worth of Cuban food. And you'll be surprised that at my local Walmart, I spent about $60 to buy this. To add insult to the injury, a Cuban worker over there makes about $20 a month, and a carton of eggs is about $5 to $6. Yes, they make 4 carton of eggs salary-wise. To add that cherry on top, retirees get about 2,000 pesos a month. 2,000 pesos is what they get every month, and a carton of eggs is 3,000 pesos. A retiree with his salaries cannot even buy a carton of eggs.
This is what you're going to get.
His salaries cannot even buy a carton of eggs.
This is what you're going to get from your government grocery stores. Why are the people of New York voting for this? Let me explain what is about to happen in New York if Mamdani wins. There's another city in the US called Detroit. Detroit used to be the manufacturing capital of the world and is still the headquarters of General Motors and Ford. But globalization has caused all the manufacturing to move away, gutting Detroit's economy. The city responded with liberal policies including raising taxes, increased government spending, and allowing crime to escalate. Things got so bad that in 2013, Detroit became the largest city in the US to file for bankruptcy. This is what Detroit became.
You can buy those for $1.
Is there someone in there?
They just break in and steal anything valuable that they can get. Plumbing, hot water tank, furnace. These are the ones you would go directly to the city or find the owner and give them a buck, take over the headache that they once had. So So the $1 home thing, it's not impossible and it's not unheard of, but it's a lot more complex than just dollar homes that's on the market.
The homes that you see online that are in the $1 to $5 to $100 range, you have to be very careful with those because they may be often they're in a neighborhood that's been pretty blighted. They look from the outside to look okay, but the inside they've been gutted.
This home here, they stripped the aluminum siding off of it for scrap metal. The cities are selling those homes for $1 so they can generate tax revenue for that property. So the incentive for the homeowner is to buy it for a really low cost. The city benefit is to put it back on the tax roll and to generate tax money from it.
And the tax base there typically is a little higher too. So you might be buying a home for $5,000, but it's still being assessed at a $60,000 home. So your taxes are pretty high in carrying that house.
So what would the year-to-year tax be on that?
Might be $2,000 or $3,000
per year.
Yeah, per year.
This is actually the property that we were coming to see.
Which one?
The one that says stay out, you will be shot. This is a property on the market for $800. Properties like this, people will move into them and secure it, actually have the home become theirs through legal matters and whatever. The ones that has no windows, obviously you can look right through it and tell that nobody's in there on the other side of the door waiting for you to come in or not. But you kind of can come in at your own risk.
There are so few people who want to live in Detroit that they are selling the houses for $1. Now compare this to New York. What is New York's economy based on? Finance. New York is the financial capital of the world. What do you think is going to happen to all those financial companies when you elect a communist mayor? Do you think those financial companies are going to stick around? They don't have to stay in New York. In fact, a lot of them have already started to leave.
I was at a watermill this summer, and when I'm talking to realtors, everybody there was talking about Mamdani, and they said, I cannot tell you how many people are already planning on selling their homes in Manhattan and are already looking at investing outside in places of Hampton and outside of New York City. Realtors in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Boynton Beach, they're waiting for Mamdani to get elected. Realtors in Nashville, Tennessee, in great areas of Brentwood, Tennessee, nice areas, Franklin, they're waiting for this thing to be taking place because people will be leaving.
This could easily collapse the economy of New York. But let me explain the worst thing about Mamdani that no one is talking about. Do you remember the court cases against Donald Trump? He had to deal with ridiculous charges in New York courts. In just one example, one judge valued Mar-a-Lago at only $18 million, and then claimed that Trump was committing fraud by valuing it more than that. And then the corrupt judge ordered that Trump had to pay $450 million and immediately implemented a 3-year ban on Trump's business license to operate in the state. Now, the Democrats in New York cheered this on, even though it was clearly a court that had been corrupted in order to target political opponents. You are now taking this corrupt, weaponized court system and putting it in the hands of a communist. So when Mamdani talks about seizing the means of production, you are handing him all the tools to do that. He can round up all the business owners and do to them exactly what was done to Donald Trump. If anyone stands up to Mamdani, he can arrest them, charge them with ridiculous crimes, put them in prison, and take all their money. If you have a 401k, you better hope it is not with a financial company that is headquartered in New York. What is going to stop Mamdani from seizing all our retirement funds? And you will not even be able to take him to court because the corrupt judge is going to do whatever Mamdani says. This is how communism works. What I hope people realize is that this is not just a New York problem. Similar people are being elected as mayor in major Democrat cities across the country.
Say about that. Free lawyers for illegal immigrants, And there's more where that came from. But he's not the only one. Across the country, there are more. Two more examples. In Minneapolis, Omar Fateh is running. He wants to fund non-police programs, keep homeless encampments, and stabilize rent. You hear that a lot from the socialists, and you can understand why. Rents are high. This one's interesting. In Seattle, Katie Wilson is running for Seattle mayor. She wants a bond for affordable housing. She wants to install city-owned solar panels and fund alternative crisis responses. She lives in a 600-square-foot apartment that she rents with her husband, and they have a small child there. She's running against another Democrat who is like, wait, I'm diverse. I've made incredible gains through my own hard work, but she is in the lead.
This is a rally with Mamdani and the New York governor, with the crowd chanting, "Tax the rich." These are mainstream Democrat voices who have taken on these insane radical beliefs. He wants to take anyone who supports Trump and arrest them, shave them, and spit on them. This is the future if New Yorkers vote for Mamdani. I do not believe these communist ideas have any place in America. With all these scandals coming to light, I hope that New Yorkers wake up before it is too late. Because either Mamdani is done or New York is done. Now I want to hear from you. If any of you know about the horrors of living under communism, please leave a comment down below, and hopefully people will read it and understand that this is not something we want in America.